Hi everyone, this is Jessica Canty. I am your life and career strategist. I'm here to have a lunchtime conversation with you, a little lunchtime lingo. Today's subject is incredibly important. Now, what is that? It's taxes. It's tax season. So if you want to have information that's going to make sure that you get the best bang for your buck, that's going to make sure that you are with a reputable representative, stick around because we have that expert here for you today. Take out your pens, take out your paper. If you're watching this on the replay, hey there, in and out. That is our expert right there. I'm getting ready to patch her in. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure that you jot down some notes and click share. This is something you want to share with your family, your friends, your coworkers. You want to make sure that they are ready and knowledgeable about taxes. So let's go ahead and patch in our expert. Oh. Hi. Okay, so I'm going to patch you in through Louisiana Doll. Let's see if we can do that instead. Here we go. Here she comes.
Hi.
Hi, gorgeous. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So I was telling everybody, it's time to take out your pens. It's time to take out your paper. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you do the same. If you're watching this live, you need to click share because you're about to have some pearls of wisdom, some jewels dropped on you today. I was introducing myself, and then I'm going to pass the mic so that gorgeous face you see can introduce herself as well. I'm Jessica Canty. I am your life and career strategist. Now, what does that mean? That means I have a passion for helping people go from unfulfilled jobs to their dream careers. And I am so blessed to be a social media personality for Swag Her magazine. Why am I blessed? Because I get to meet members of the community who are professionals, people who are subject matter experts. Not only do I get to meet them, but I get to introduce them to you. So if you missed, this is actually our third installment of Tax Conversations. So if you missed any moment of that, you missed a lot. You need to go watch that on the replay. You can see it on Swag Her Magazine's YouTube channel. You can also see it on my YouTube channel. So I feel like I'm excited. I'm ready to delve in. Let me allow that gorgeous face you see to introduce herself. Take it away, beautiful.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rashida. I am the owner of In and Out Tax Service, located here in Baton Rouge. Our office offers a variety of services in addition to taxes. We do credit repair. We offer business services, so we assist businesses in getting their EINs, LLC. So we're like a full service office. You can come here and get a variety of things done. So almost like a one-stop shop. We do by appointments only. So it's a one-on-one experience. It's not where you're sitting and waiting with a room full of people. It's more of a catered, almost like a boutique. So I'm here to answer questions today, give out some more information, of course, kind of touch bases on a few things that we covered previously. So whatever questions y'all have, feel free to ask. Just to give y'all some contact information so we won't forget toward the end. We are located at 9131 Interline Avenue in Suite 5A, and we're located at the back of the plaza. Our email address is info@thefinancialbiz.com. Also, our office phone number is 225, I went blank, 225-444-5275. So y'all can start with any questions y'all have.
Awesome. I'm sitting down and in the comments, I'm putting the information that you all mentioned. And so I'm gonna have to go back to fill in because I put down 9131 Antoine Avenue.
Interline.
Say again.
Interline. Here, let me
Interline Avenue. So I'm gonna don't pin that address because you're gonna be searching for her.
Yes, you will. But you can call me and I can help you get here.
Can you say the phone number one more time?
225-444-5275.
5275. Okay.
Now so that's the address. I did it. Okay. Now I don't know how to pin. I'm not that good with all of it.
I got you. I just pinned you. Awesome. Okay, you all. So excited about you all joining us for a couple of reasons. Like we mentioned before, this is a space that gets your tax questions answered and to make sure that you're around an expert. And we shared on our last couple of interviews about what an expert looks like. So can you share with the audience again your expertise and your background?
Okay, so basically I started doing taxes roughly, I think 19 years ago. I started off with Jackson Hewitt, so I did, of course, the training there, did the class, started doing taxes. I've used a few, of course, online software as well, like everyone else does. Kind of bounced around, so I've been doing taxes on and off since then. This is my first year opening my own tax office. I decided to branch out and basically be my own boss. The biggest difference between actually doing taxes online and doing taxes with an actual tax professional, our software is a little more advanced than the online software, so to say. So we know what deductions and credits you're entitled to when we review your documents. When you're online, it's just them telling you, hey, well, put this in. Oh, okay, put this in. They're not, you don't have that person in front of you to go over your documents, review your documents. It's just you. And as a consumer, you're not familiar with what deductions and credits you actually are capable of getting, especially if you're a small business owner and you're filing a Schedule C. Your Schedule C, you're entitled to so many deductions and credits just because you're a small business owner. But if you don't know what's correct and what you should use and what you can claim, then of course you're leaving money on the table.
Mm-hmm. All right, you all, I have a confession to make. I am a habitually late person filing my taxes. It just so happens almost every year I'm filing them late. And so I don't know if you're like me, that you file them late, but we have a tax expert in front of us. So let's ask her, what about extensions? What about filing late? What if I am afraid that the IRS is going to get me because I know I owe them money? What wisdom do you have to share around that?
Okay, so technically you don't really know that you owe the IRS, especially if you haven't received the letter stating, hey, you owe us. And it's a possibility. A lot of people don't file because they're scared that they owe the IRS. Again, you don't know until you actually file your taxes. When you're working with a tax expert, we ask for certain documentation. When we're looking and reviewing your documents, for instance, we can do itemization if that's what you need. We may be able to itemize certain things to help you get a refund or to help you at least not owe. A lot of people are, gun-ho about, I need a refund, I need a refund. I'm happy as long as I don't owe them. I don't really care. So my job as your tax consultant is to get you to either balance out or to get you some type of refund. Even if a refund is $500, it's better than paying the IRS. Because if you don't pay them immediately, then you're subject to interest and penalties, which is additional money. So the deadline, of course, to file is April 15th. If you are not able to file, you don't have everything together that you know you need to file, you can file an extension. You can come in, you can speak with me, I can come in, I can go ahead and get you a tax extension. You can actually go online and apply yourself. It's kind of up to you what how you feel about filing your extension. If you feel you don't know what to do, then of course ask someone to, a tax consultant to do it for you. That way it gives you additional time to file your taxes, because you don't want to just not file, because that interest and those penalties, it adds up. And it's not like a couple of dollars, it adds all the way up.
Yeah.
So you don't want to pay the IRS more than what you have to pay them, what you're actually required to pay.
Absolutely. Okay, so confession number 2. You all, this is my 3rd interview with Rashida, and I messaged her a couple of days ago and I said, you know what, I need some help with my taxes. And so the confession is, like, I'm going to change the pattern of filing them late, and I'm going to work with a professional. So I'm going to give her my information. I'm going to trust and put my tax refund, even if I don't get a refund, in her hands, because I trust that she can do what she says she can do. So I'm encourage you all to trust her as well. But I don't know if you caught it. She says she is in a completely different time zone than I'm in. I'm in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, but she's in a I think she's about an hour behind where I am. But Rashida, can you tell them what you can do for people who are not in the same city and state that you're in?
Well, With us, because we file electronically, we can file for any state that accepts electronic filing. So you don't have to be local. You don't have to be in Baton Rouge. You don't even have to be in Louisiana for us to file. But what I do is to protect your identity. If I'm just like never met you, I do make phone calls, and as far as Zoom, FaceTime, or something, so that I can verify you are you. Because I do have to get a copy of your driver's license or your state ID with a picture. So when I call you, it needs to be you before I file or give any information. So you can email information to me through like your W-2s, anything that I need. We can it can be sent that way. And again, I call you. I don't just say, hey, this is your return, or send you a text because you giving me a phone number and say this is where you can call or text. I call and verify before I release any information, and I discuss with you before I submit your return. I go over with you what you may owe or what your refund is, to make sure that you're okay with that, because you're entitled to get another opinion. I mean, it's not just because you sent me your information, I have to file your taxes. So yeah.
And I really like that you said that. Audience, I hope that you all caught that. She said that she's going to verify who you are. Why is that important? When we're looking at people, identity theft, people claiming other people's children on their taxes,
yes,
it's important. And so you're protecting identity. The other thing I remember you mentioning, you were talking about auditing. What support do you provide for your clients around auditing?
Okay, because right now I'm not a EA or a CPA. I'm working on my EA though, so hopefully next tax season we will have that accomplished. But what I do is offer audit protection. It is an additional fee that I add on to your tax return, but it does protect you in the event that you're audited by the IRS. So it's like a team of people that work with you to get everything done. And as far as your audit, because you'll receive a letter from the IRS, which is how you'll know you're being audited. The only thing I can provide, because I'm not that EA yet, is copies of all your documents that you've given to me. So in the event you get a letter, hey, you've been audited, because the IRS can audit anybody. It doesn't matter. And they can go back up to either 3 years or 5 years. I never know that number, but it's either 3 years or 5 years. And so if I've done your taxes, I have everything that you've given me. So I can, of course, because everybody loses documents. They don't keep up with them once they get their taxes. It's like, hey, I got my check. I don't care. So I do keep copies of everything. That way, that will help in assisting with your audit. But that team of experts that you have on that audit protection, they work with you through the entire process from beginning to end to get everything resolved for you.
Absolutely. And another thing that I don't want the audience to let slip by them. A couple of times you said the IRS is going to send you an email. They're going to mail you a letter. So if the IRS is calling me or sending me a text message, is it really the IRS, do you think?
No, the IRS will not text and call you. I even get crazy texts like that. And I'm like, I'm not, not answering that. I've had text people asking me and like about telling me that about Social Security. And I'm like, I'm not even on Social Security yet. But they do a lot of scams, especially during this time of year. It's always during tax season and like Christmas, your major holidays. They do a lot of scams. They will not text you and call you and ask you for your Social Security number over the phone. They will not tell you that you need to send like your checking account information by email or anything like that. When the IRS audits you or need any documentation from you, you receive a letter. So they do mail you letters, and they tell you exactly what they need. For instance, if it's something they need to verify on your tax return, they'll tell you in there, hey, you need to contact us. And you can always go on the IRS website and verify, the phone number, any address, like all their information is there. It's irs.gov, and it's a world of free information. So you can always go in there and find out all kinds of stuff. And if you need to verify something that you think is not from the IRS, give them a call. They'll be able to tell you. Now, you may be on hold for a little while, so you have to be patient, but they will be able to verify if they sent you information.
Thank you. That's wonderful wisdom, because people do get nervous, and they don't want to run away from the IRS. Some people don't want to run away. So in their fear or confusion, they may respond to these emails and text messages and phone calls. And so I'm so happy that you are protecting them from potential identity theft and just money, like their money being taken away from them. And so that is such some good wisdom. So you mentioned, okay, so if I'm going to be a client of yours, and I have this Zoom conversation, what are some things that I need to prepare for our conversation? And what are some types of questions that you might ask a client?
Well, it varies, because if you send me your W-2, the initial form that I send you is a client data form, which you received. The client data form has all of the questions as far as your basic information. And a lot of people, some people know what their filing status is, some don't. Some people don't even know what filing statuses are, which it does ask you that on there. You have 5 filing statuses, which is single, married filing separate, married filing joint, head of household, and then widowed. Well, if you know what you normally file, for instance, you have kids, you pay all of your bills at home, and you had a household, then of course that's what your filing status would be. It also asks you for your basic information, name, address, phone number, email address. It asks you how many W-2s you have for this particular tax season. It asks you if you're self-employed, so that way we'll know that you need to do a Schedule C due diligence form, because I need to know what all you're claiming as far as your business. So once I gather all that information and kind of review it, and then kind of start on your tax return, I can know what I'll need from you from that point. If I need, so if you have dependents and you're wanting to claim child care expenses, I need something from that child care provider with their tax ID number telling me how much you paid for 2019 in child care expenses for that particular daycare. Questions just kind of vary. If you're a small business owner, I need to know your income, how much you made. I need to know what expenses you had. I need to know if you had an office, what your rent was, your utilities. Like, I need to know what all I can help you as far as deductions and credits.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad that you started to give some particular questions. And again, she said it'll be specific to the person. So she's not going to give you an exhaustive list right here, but that's important to hear, so that when your tax provider is asking you this question, it's not because they're being nosy. It's not because they're being judgmental. It's because she's trying to see all the deductions that you may have, what money you may be leaving on the table, what you may owe the government. And so whether it's that you owe or that you get money back, she wants to make sure that all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. So you said a couple of things around being a small business owner or being self-employed. I know a lot of people now are doing sideline hustles, if you will, or we've got some budding entrepreneurs where they may work a 9-to-5 and they've got a W-2, and they've got a business. Well, that's more like their 5 to 9 time. So what wisdom would you give those people who are kind of straddling both lines, where they're got a W-2, but they're also trying to grow a business?
Well, if you have a 9, which I do the same, I actually have, not per se 9 to 5, because I do work overnight, but I have a full-time job, and I also own a business. So in order to use your business on your tax return, you do need to have an EIN. Mm-hmm. That is your business social security number, so to say. That's the easiest way to explain it. In order to use that business on your taxes, you have to provide us with the EIN, which is very simple to get. And we also can assist you with getting your EIN. So for instance, if you open a business this year or wanting to open a business, we can go ahead and show you how to get your EIN. If you're interested in doing your business structure, if you want an LLC, S Corp, whatever, it just kind of, we can help you with all of that, and so that way you can be able to add it to your taxes to file those deductions and credits. Otherwise, we won't be able to use it, because you have to have that EIN in order to use it on your business. So you have to keep good records, great records, when you're a small business owner, because you have to keep in mind when you're working for yourself, nobody's going to give you a W-2. You are your W-2, basically. You have to provide your tax preparer with your expenses, your income. So we need that information in order to file for you.
Okay. It's a question I have from Shop B Marie. And the question is, if I own a business, do I file my individual taxes separately?
No, your Schedule C can be attached to your individual return.
Absolutely.
I see something saying not necessarily.
Right. I was looking, I didn't see the question, so I'm not quite sure. I think it looks like Miss Tamian, ma'am. If that's you, can you make sure you ask the question so that we can address it? Because I just see not necessarily. I don't see, I'm going back, I don't see the question it was probably responding to, but it was during our conversation about working a 9 to 5 and trying to have a budding 5 to 9, if you will, that full-time job in establishing a business. I know that comment popped up during that conversation. And so if you have a question around that, can you make sure you spell that out clearly? You can use your SSN. You don't use, oh, okay. She's talking about you can use your social security number and you don't need an EIN.
You
so
can. I personally, the reason I say EIN is because you want to separate your business and your personal.
Right. So if something
I
happens,
personally
the
recommend
government,
that you use an EIN versus a social security number. It's, I guess, my personal preference, but you can use your social.
okay.
The reason I say separate personal from business, because with your business, if you say, for instance, you have a business structure as an LLC and you're being sued, you don't want anybody to be able to sue your business and your personal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I highly recommend an EIN and an LLC to protect your personal as well. Because in business, you know, anything can happen, and you want to separate those two so that way, if it's you're being sued for business, you're being sued for business. If you're being sued for personal, you're being sued for personal. So that's why I say an EIN.
So we'll be no commingling of the suits.
Right.
That was
just the example that I gave, but you know, and you want to make sure when you separate them, you're separating your personal credit and you're separating your business credit. Even though it's tied to your social security number, you still want to have everything separate. You want to have your own business credit in your business name to build that business credit.
Absolutely.
You don't want to tie everything to your personal social security number and your personal credit.
Okay.
If that makes sense to her. I don't know. Does that kind of help you out, Miss Tamian? Am I saying it right? I don't know.
Oh, I'm not sure. I was trying to make sure I said it correctly too. If that question, if she was able to address it, please let us know. If you need some further information, or if anybody else from the audience needs some further information, please let us know in the comment section. So you said something, because I know I've been around enough people who have backdoor tricks for taxes, and or you should file separately, or you shouldn't file separately if you're married. You should claim your child. What do you have for those people who are trying to find shortcuts? Like, what wisdom do you have for those people who are trying to find shortcuts for their taxes?
Basically, the IRS is like, how do I want to describe them? They're like everywhere. I personally will not. I don't do anything illegal, any shortcuts or anything, because I don't want to go to jail. Period. Yeah. I don't play with the IRS. I'm scared. I don't want anybody to, you know, audit my office saying, hey, you haven't done this, this, and this. And I mean, I would be scared to get a letter, period, saying, hey, I want to be, you're being audited. Because with the IRS, I feel like you need to cross your I's, dot your T's on everything. I will not, shortcuts, you're going to get caught up.
Okay.
Because like I said, they can go back and audit you for more than just that particular tax season. So I just don't recommend it. Filing status is like with your standard deductions. When you're married and you're filing like head of household, for example, you're getting additional credits and deductions that you're really not entitled to. So when you're getting audited, you're going to have to pay this money back. So I don't want to have to owe the IRS for something that I wasn't entitled to. And just think about it, when they add the interest and the penalties, you're paying a lot of money back that you could have avoided.
Yeah, you said it. You put it so eloquently. Shortcuts will get you caught up.
Yeah.
So don't do it. The shortcut will
just leave it where it is. Just pay the IRS if you owe them. If you get a return, or if you just break even, just be happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the last couple times we chatted, you talked about how you try to help your clients. This is a business. However, you're not trying to make a business shortchanging people or overcharging them. My first conversation, I was excited when you were helping college students, because boy, could I have used it when I was in college. Do you have any specials or any giveaways or anything that you want the audience to know about?
I actually did. I have a flyer here. So let me get a little closer. Maybe you can see it. But I'll also mention it. If you were on this live and you take advantage of any of our services between now and March 15th, we're getting you $50 off of any service. So you have to mention that you were on this live, and you have to tell me something about this live, what you remember from it. And then you can get $50 off any service, whether it's tax preparation, if it's credit repair, if it's any of our services as far as itemization, any business services, it doesn't matter what it is. Of course, it has to be at least, more than $50, but we'll get you $50 off of whatever you sign up for.
Absolutely. And you know what, you all, I'm excited. That's why I had to lean in. You've got 1 week. Not only did you get free advice today, but you're going to work with a reputable business owner who is willing to help you to make sure you don't leave money on the table, to make sure you don't shortchange the government, to make sure the jail time is not in your future. But she, on top of all of that, she's saying, hey, $50 off. Yep. And I don't know about you all, but I have paid hundreds of dollars to have my taxes prepared. And I would have gladly taken $50 off. And I'll be the first to tell you, I am going to be working with her. I am going to be a customer, because you don't get what she's giving. You don't get compassion from a lot of other tax providers. You don't get someone who is trying to make sure she asks the right questions specific to you. She gave you some general questions, but I hope you all caught it. She is going to be tuned into what your individual needs are. She's going to ask you those questions that are pertinent to you. And if you buy the software, it's not going to help you. If you go to a different tax provider, perhaps they may help you, but they've got 5 other customers right behind you, and they probably overbooked. But if you want that one-on-one unique experience that's going to tap into what you specifically need, what are you waiting for? Have you followed Louisiana Dollar? Have you followed In-N-Out and tax provider? Did you take down the phone number? Did you take down the email? It's time to get those taxes together, because you have 1 week for this special, but if you haven't looked at the calendar yet, April will be here before you know it.
Yes, it will be.
April, it'll be here before you know it. So don't waste any time. And so I just wanted to, was there any other wisdom that you wanted to share with the community, or any because I'm looking at the questions. Oh, awesome. So we got some conversation around Miss Timmy. She worked for the IRS for 6 years. So again, when you're receiving wisdom, you want to make sure you're checking the person's credentials. And this doesn't mean that you have to have a doctorate in taxes, but you want to check their credentials. And on a previous conversation, and even in this one, we talked a little bit about Rashida's credentials. She's been doing this for over, you said a decade, right? I think it was like more than that.
Pretty close, or right at it, yeah.
All right. So, so she falls right in line with someone whose experience is going to take care of you. I want to pass the mic to you one more time. If there's anything you want to challenge the audience in, or any wisdom you want to share with them.
As we touched earlier about like a lot of scams they have going on, just be sure that you make sure that you know about your tax preparer. Make sure that you're aware of all the scams, that you're not giving information over the phone, like your social, your checking account information. Make sure that you are protecting yourself. If the IRS sends you a letter, be sure to respond. Do not just throw your letter down and say, oh, okay, I'll get with that later. No, respond, because you're probably delaying your own tax return if you were entitled to one. I'm free to answer questions. So if you have any additional questions after this, you can email me, you can call me, you can DM me as well. I answer questions that way as well.
Awesome. And she does. She's not just saying it, you all, because I tested it out. I test things out for you all. I DM'd her. She's like, okay, send me your email. So she's on it. She's here to help you. And I'm here to help you too. Are you frustrated in your current career? Is that W-2 that you have to send her not reflective of how your lifestyle is? Does it seem like there's more month than there is paycheck? It's time for you to move towards your dream career. And if you're ready, I'm ready to help you. Head over to my page, because I've got a free gift for you. So if you listen today, you got 2 gifts, actually a couple of them. Rashida gave you a bunch of them. She gave you free advice. She's giving you discounts. She's giving you flexibility. You don't have to be in her area code or in her time zone. She's going to work with you. And you have the additional gift of the 5 steps to begin to work from your unfulfilled job to your dream career. I'm gonna tell you an additional gift. It's Swag Her Magazine. Swag Her Magazine brought this gorgeous face. That one right there I'm pointing to. It's not mine, it's hers. They brought you that. So if you want more of what you've heard, make sure you tell Swag Her Magazine. Bring back that extraordinary tax preparer. We want more from her. And so, or all the information that she shares. All right, you all. It's been wonderful. I know it's your lunch break. I want you to chew on what we shared. But once you have, hit the replay, click share, make sure everyone around you knows about it. But do your homework. That means you want to email Rashida. Don't let too much time. Don't let the end of the day come and you haven't communicated with her. Because it's a DM. You're already on Instagram. Go ahead and DM her. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're already on the internet. Send an email. Let's get to it. The deal only lasts for 1 more week. Take advantage of it. All right, beautiful. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. I can do this all day.
Same here.
I look forward to talking with you soon.
Yes. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.